Welcome to the Celtic Way, Celtic v Hearts line-up reaction. As you can see from the team on the screen there, £11 million man Arne Engels starts as Bernardo is rotated. I'm Tony Haggerty, at Haggerty10 on the X or Twitter handle, and I'm joined as always by at the Ryan McGinley on the X or Twitter handle. Ryan, I think we both got 10 out of 11. You said Trusty would start as well, but he didn't. He favoured Scales. And I did the same kind of team, except for I had Bernardo instead of Engels, but not too bothered actually, Ryan. I want to see what Arne Engels can produce, and this is as good a game as any, so bring it on. Let's all see what the £11 million man can do, Ryan. Excited by that?
Absolutely. Delighted to be back. Delighted to have a game to talk about. It's been a long sort of 2 weeks or so since Celtic played or last played against Rangers. You know, it's good. It's good that it's against Hearts as well. We bit of added spice to that, as always, when playing Hearts, regardless of the form that they're in. And I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. But yeah, an exciting team. You know, we get 10 out of 11 on our respective predicted lineups, but they're still really strong. This is a really strong core that's here. Mm-hmm. You're starting to see the semblance of a real. You know, you've got the heartbeats of the team, the players that are always going to play, and then you've got interchangeable players as well. So it brings there's a certain air of confidence right now, I think, amongst the Celtic supporters and the Celtic players as well. Don't know if you've managed to watch any of the clips of that documentary that came out yesterday, but you can see why. You can see why the players are enjoying playing under Brendan Rodgers. That's a master at work in terms of man management. He is directly and completely in control, and I can only imagine what he's telling these players before and after games. We've had a small glimpse, and you can see why they want to run through walls for him at this point in time. So happy with the team, happy with the bench, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's game.
Get your predictions coming in, guys. 420 somewhere, straight in, 4-0. There you go. Loving that from 420 somewhere. And couple of comments here. Stephen Sloan feels like months in Celtic's last game when he hates the international breaks. Today's game will be tough, and don't let Hearts' recent form fool you. Yep, it's all about what Celtic do, Stephen. I would say that, and they can pile on more misery for Hearts. And P. McLaughlin saying not a bad player to have back up. He's talking about Paulo Bernardo clearly. And Gordon Coney saying, when was the last time Celtic had a bench that strong? Ignore my dogs in the background there.
They wanted Bernardo in the starting lineup clearly, as well as you. They're making
yeah,
their displeasure known.
Engels, yep, they're loving it. And Fasty T saying, love the pre-match shows, close to kickoff. Great channels do this content. Looking forward to the game, lads. Come on, indeed. Get your comments coming in, guys. I'll try and flick a few up as we're going along. Hazel Finn saying it's a difficult one she feels for Bernardo, has to put a foot wrong, but it's a good position to be in with extra players. Strong bench there, Ryan. Yeah, you alluded to the manager. You've clearly watched Inside the Huddle. I've yet to watch it. I'm going to watch that with my old man tomorrow, I believe, at some point. But yeah, I've always said that the manager's elite level, I've called them. And I think you'll maybe get a wee insight into that with that documentary. This is, as you said, they're a master at work, and I've always had faith in Brendan Rodgers and what he's doing. And this team that he's assembled, that starting 11 and the bench really excites me today, Ryan.
Yeah, everything really excites me about this team so far. I feel like the excitement levels haven't gone away since 2 weeks ago when Celtic beat Rangers 3-0, of course. And it's a real chance today to put that scoreboard. What was the term that was used? It's
scoreboard pressure. It's called
scoreboard pressure. This is the first time, or one of the first times in this season. In fact, I believe it is the first time this season that Celtic are playing before Rangers, yet Celtic are still 5 points clear at this point in time. So it shows that the scoreboard pressure that was maybe applied or not applied, as the case was against Hearts for Rangers, it didn't affect Celtic whatsoever, because they just went and did their own thing. Now is the chance to put the pressure, not just on Rangers, but on Aberdeen as well. I think we've got to remember that Aberdeen have had a tremendous start to this season. They're playing Motherwell at the same time today. Let's see how good their staying power is, and see if they can beat it. Well, it's quite an informed Motherwell team as well. You know, Motherwell are one of the better sides in the division so far this season. So it's an exciting league. But I think all that scoreboard pressure, you've got to put that onto Rangers tomorrow. A tough game at Tannadice. You know, there's a lot going on at Rangers at the moment, a lot of turmoil at both on the pitch and off the pitch. It's up for Celtic to compile that by keeping on winning. Don't give them an inch of a chance of getting back into this, and just keep on doing what you're doing, because if Celtic play anywhere near their best today, then they'll get a couple of goals off of Hearts. They play to their full strength, and it could be a long afternoon for Stephen Naismith.
Indeed, Rangers' problems on and off the field don't affect Celtic. They control the controllables, as you say. Ryan, Sean Bleach's asking who's the sub, so do you want to read them out for me?
Yes, I will do. So it's Viljami Sinisalo, Austin Trusty, Lewis Palma, Adam Ida, Alex Baye, Luke McCowan, Paulo Bernardo, James Forrest and Tony Ralston. So, there's still strength on that bench. Get guys that are maybe eager to get a chance. If maybe some players don't play to their level. I look at the likes of Palma, a guy that's kind of fallen under the radar. There's a bit of talk about him maybe leaving the club at the end of the transfer window there, but he stayed. You got Luke McCowan, who's desperate for an opportunity. I'm sure he'll get game time in the second half. Paulo Bernardo, we know how good he is. He showed it 2 weeks ago against Rangers. Unlucky not to be starting. But I just want to underline the fact that he's not starting today, because it tells me two things. One, that Arne Engels is doing it in training to automatically take his place in the starting lineup. He must be showing that he's an £11 million player. And the fact that Paulo Bernardo had 2 international games, Engels only had 1. So it could be a fitness sort of concern as well, or just protecting your asset, really. I don't see it as a drop-in for Bernardo. I just see it as rotation. You've got a good, strong 15.
Yeah, it's a clear rotation, isn't it? Let's be honest. And I've always said the manager places a lot of stock in what's going on in training. And I think Arne Engels, he's part of a long-term future and a plan for Celtic, and that plan being European football as well. So I think he just wanted to get him up to speed, didn't he, before Celtic play Slovan Bratislava on Wednesday with this game.
Absolutely agree with that.
That's, George Barr saying Bernardo first name in the team sheet Wednesday. Well, he played them all through the Champions League last season, George, so there's a feeling that would be the case. Lots of comments coming in, so I'm going to try and get through a few of them, Ryan, before we chat more. Lots of predictions. Les D, 5-0, guys. Brilliant. Love that, Les D. 4-0, says Hazel Finn. Thank you, Hazel, for that. Regular contributor. Liam Bryson, averaging 3 a game, so 3-1, he says. Fasty T saying, got a bet on for 5-0. Good luck with that. Gamble responsibly, of course. Murchie Boy saying 2-0, and he'll, yes, indeed. Anthony Aitken just sound a note of caution. Let's be careful today, he's saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, indeed. Thomas Burns, 3-0 Celtic. Liam Bryson saying 3-1. Squeak, 1888 saying clean sheet is what he's wanting more. P. McLaughlin saying 5-0 Kyogo hat-trick. He is 10-12 versus Hart. It'll be 13-13 come 5 p.m. There you go. Derek in Glasgow, Big Arna, first goal. He's saying that'd be great. I'd like to see that. George Barr also saying Hearts will show up today. Celtic need to be at it. They sure do. Agree with that. KP Boy saying hail all. Looking for a great performance, some good goals, another clean sheet. He's sure Engels will be influential. He's hoping to see Trusty McCowan in value too, and he's hoping that Celtic end up the game injury free. And Derek in Glasgow also saying he doesn't think Brendan's lexicon includes the word complacency. Have to agree, he doesn't do that. But yeah, Ryan, I think everybody's just excited for today, and hopefully, what is it they say? Piling on the agony and putting on the style, Ryan. That's what we want today from Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just hoping that it's more of the same. Really, clean sheets and goals are plenty. I've put an estimate on 10 goals in 3 games. They can really cut into that today if they really just pile on. I don't want to say piling on the agony on Hearts, but really going at this team, a team that are not in good form. The only points that they picked up, I believe, were against Rangers at home this season. So it's been a tough start for Stephen Naismith. They've had European football to contend with. The 2 weeks off, you may see a different Hearts today that actually come out and play. But if I'm being honest, I want Hearts to come out and attack against Celtic, because they'll leave spaces at the back. Kyogo has got these defenders' numbers. He's got Kai Roll's number. In these fixtures, he's used to scoring against Hearts. Hearts are one of his favourite teams to play against, and I just expect him, if he's given the chances and the opportunities, then he's going to find the back of the net. I feel like that duck has now been broken what a duck to break against Rangers, for the first goal, or the first professional goal or competitive goal of this season. I just think there's goals to be had here today if Celtic really want it. But I think there's players in this team that are wanting to really show up today. Arne Engels, this is an opportunity. He had that half an hour, some nice touches against Rangers. This is his opportunity from the start to really stamp his authority all over this midfield. Matt O'Reilly's gone. He was Matt O'Reilly's direct replacement. Let's see him be as influential, if not more influential, than the man that he's replaced in O'Reilly. That gauntlet has been set down to him. It's been put down to him, and it's up to him to really take it with both hands and feet.
Yes, here's hoping. Almost 500 of you joining us live. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And you can also help us out more, Ryan, with supporting our work with the strapline running along the bottom. You can tell the viewers all about that.
Yeah, if you want to support us just that little bit extra, guys, you can join our YouTube members channel. It is just £2.99 a month. You'll also receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive members chat function. So if you're on a desktop, you can press the join button below this video. It's next to the subscribe button, I believe. Hopefully you're already subscribed and you won't need to do both. But yeah, if you want to join us and become a member, we would really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody that's done so far. We really do appreciate everybody joining up and being a part of the Celtic way. We can't do it without you guys, so we appreciate it very, very much.
Yep, thanks to everybody that's joined and taken up that $2.99 subscription.
Already? Wow.
Yeah. And more predictions coming in. Celtic67 saying 4-0 the Mighty Hoops. Francis McCann saying 3-1 Celtic. John Milan saying 4-0 top three all to score. And Summit today saying 3-0. He would have rested AJ and Taylor, Tony and Vi are good enough for today, he's saying. And Mark Fairfield 5-1. Haven't predicted a clean sheet yet, so not going to jinx it. Okay, thanks for that, Mark. And Leslie saying, Tony, I think this is aimed at me. I'm always talking about Celtic behaving like a big club, and big clubs rotate their squad with big players. They most certainly do. I think that's exactly what's happening today, and you'll probably see some more rotation on Wednesday night. But I'm just glad that they have that strength and depth now to actually do that, Ryan, and the manager can make those decisions. PJ McCann 29 coming in saying he thinks the manager plans on starting Bernardo during the week. He played him a lot in Europe last season. Already kind of touched on that as well. And Era saying 4-0, Kyogo double. And thank you to 420 Somewhere, who's just become a YouTube member. Appreciate that, 420 Somewhere. Tremendous. Thank you so much. Yep, Ryan, it seems like it's been ages since we've actually spoken about the football. And now it's back. And today, this is a big 8 days coming up for Celtic. But we spoke about it in the briefings this week. Nothing less than 3 wins at a 3, Ryan. And start the way you need to go off today. And I want them to see Celtic blitz Hearts and give them a wee bit of a pulverisation, see where it takes us, and take that into Slovan Bratislava match, which will be just a brilliant 8 days to look forward to, 3 home games in the spin.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to attending all 3 of those games in the coming weeks. It's going to be a busy day driving to Celtic Park and back, but I wouldn't want it any other way. Love a home game. Feels like we've hardly had any this season. I know we had the Rangers game last time out, but it's good to have this little run of games before we have a wee block of away games, which is no problem at all. We'll go wherever Celtic go and cover them in the best way that we can. That's what we do at the Celtic way. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to today. I think there's a real chance for Celtic to really lay down a marker. They laid down one a couple of weeks ago against Rangers, and I expect them to do the same to Hearts. I don't think they'll hold up against Hearts. No. I think they'll remember last season the fact that Hearts beat them 2-0. I remember sitting in this car. I was feeling pretty apprehensive about the game. My apprehensions were turned out to be correct or accurate because Celtic were awful that day. To think of the toxicity levels, and I did call it that in the post match, and it was toxic. It was toxic in and around the ground. It was horrible. But to look at it now, from back then to now, the levels have improved so much. The positivity is everywhere. Brendan Rodgers has got his feet firmly under the table now. The players now know what is expected of them when they play under Brendan Rodgers. And what you're seeing is this sort of beautiful hybrid between Ange Postecoglou and Brendan Rodgers' original style of play. But it's so effective because they're keeping hold of the ball. They're making 700, 800 passes a game, but they're also being so direct as well. Every pass has a purpose. They're not passing for the sake of it to keep possession. Everything has an idea and a set. Every pass has an identity and a reason behind it. And they're making use of their possession. Like they had their lowest possession total a couple of weeks ago in the Glasgow Derby, and that was 53%. They've been averaging 70 to 80% possession. They are absolutely, they've got a stranglehold on teams at the moment, and I expect it to go back up to the high 60s, low 70s, maybe even high 70s as well in the possession today. It's a really, really exciting brand of football. I'd actually go as far to say that this style of football is my favourite type of Brendan Rodgers football out of the many styles that we've seen of him, and that includes the invincible treble, because we were good to watch in that point, but this just seems like a level up in terms of what they're doing off the ball, their pressure off the ball, their interceptions, their counter press, and everything just seems like it's working. And I think there's just a real excitement going to games at the moment. There's an excitement to watch this team in action, and I feel like we're only at the tip. I think there's going to be so much more to this, and hopefully Europe's Celtic's playground to really showcase that next level.
Yep, and also more comments coming in, but there's one in particular I'll read in a second. Can't wait to see the boys, says Craig Rankin. 4-0, he's predicting. James Bowers predicting 3-0 for Celtic. Colin Sweeney saying 4-0, been right the last two games. So there you go. Someone today saying Kyogo first goal inside the opening 7 minutes, 3-0. He's gone for 1888 TFC saying 3 or 4-0. 2 clean sheet, please, as well. He's asking for, and Craig Rankin back in saying an Engels long range goals on the cards, and Rio's due a goal too, and he's licking his lips in anticipation. Now here's one, Ryan. Derek Rourke. Good luck to Kasper Schmeichel, who I think could become the first goalkeeper to keep 5 clean sheets in a row. It's dating back to Willie Maley's time in charge of Celtic. I would love for that to happen to Kasper Schmeichel. He's been outstanding since he came in, despite not having had much to do, but what an influence he's had. And as I say, he conceded 1 goal, a thumping header. Nobody was saving that, but he's been excellent. Ball distribution been fantastic. We all love Joe Hart, but I think Kasper Schmeichel's feeling that love as well now, isn't he?
He certainly is, and it's been a perfect transition from Joe Hart to Kasper Schmeichel. It helps that the two of them are friends
Seamless,
as well.
I think
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, seamless. It's been a pretty perfect transition from the two. Seamless is the right adjective to describe that for sure. It's just because they're pals as well. I'm sure they'll have sent texts to each other about what is expected.
Yeah.
They were with each other at a very, very early age at Manchester City. I remember actually, I seen a picture coming up a couple of days ago with the Match Attacks trading cards, and they were both at Man City at that point. It's crazy that both of those players, two of them, but the fact that both of them are still playing this time last season, the fact that both have played for Celtic within the 2 years, so it just goes to show you how the longevity of the longevity of goalkeepers and how they keep themselves fit and ready is something to marvel at. Kasper Schmeichel doesn't look like he's lost anything of his game in the past couple of years. He looks like a top goalkeeper. I watched his save against Rangers, again, the one at the end, particularly the second one where he stretches himself out big. That was after Boric, like watching that. I think it was from McCausland. It was very, very reminiscent of an Arthur Boric starfish save.
Very like his old man, to be fair.
Yes. He comes in good stock.
Off the old block, as they say. Yeah.
Probably one of the best father-son, arguably the best father-son sort of dynamic in football. I know you've got like the Cruyffs as well, although Jordi Cruyff wasn't as good player as Johan Cruyff. But if you look at the level that Kasper Schmeichel's played at and his dad's played at, that's a really, really strong family of players.
Oh, here's a sad one, which Holly Kingston, I'll show this. Tony, you remember Mark Davis? His granddad watched your podcast on Mark Neal, including Nottingham Forest. He sadly passed away on Wednesday. Mark asked me to say thanks for doing that for his granddad's pleasure. He was 95. Mark, Holly, thank you for letting us know. I'm sure everybody in the Celtic family and in the Celtic way wishes Mark and his family, send our condolences. Send them on to Mark for us, Holly. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. That's very sad. He was very kind. So, rest in peace, Mark's granddad. Don't like to hear that, but always, just got to remember them, haven't you? So, pretty sad news that, but thank you, Holly, for letting us know and give my regards to Mark. God rest him, says George. Indeed, Indeed, an RIP, says Colin Sweeney. Yep, indeed, we will extend our condolences to Mark and his family and his loved ones at this difficult and sad time. Now,
Absolutely.
Ryan had something there that I wanted to say, but that kind of threw me off kilter a little bit. But,
talking about Kasper Schmeichel.
Go on, talk about Kasper Schmeichel.
All right, I was just talking. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move just to the right ever so slightly and talk about Alistair Johnston, because I think he's worth talking about, the fact that he's fit and ready. As much as I like Tony Ralston, it is a bit of a drop down in quality if you put him in the team ahead of Alistair Johnston. I think everybody sees what AJ brings to the side when he is present in that right back position, both defensively and going forward. I thought Brendan Rodgers' comments on him were brilliant. He said he could be up there with one of the best right backs he's ever worked with.
Yeah.
If he just keeps on going and plays to the level that he has been shown and improving game by game. But that's got to be, those two positions, left back and right back, getting those two players signed up has got to be now the priority for the club, to get them signed up for the long term.
Well, you heard Taylor, the manager yesterday. He said that Taylor was a priority, and he spoke in glowing terms about Alistair Johnston. But I think the great thing about Brendan Rodgers is that he sees what you and I are seeing as well. And, you know, another wee kind of, I wouldn't say it was a warning shot, but I think it was just a kind of nod to those upstairs. Look, let's get these guys tied down. He said the contract talks with Alistair Johnston was kind of news to him. He wasn't aware of anything, but he will be aware. And I think, as he said, that's purely between the player and his agents and the club, isn't it? So that's fair enough. But in terms of Greg Taylor, I think everybody wants to see Greg sign a new deal. And
especially after last night when those clips came out.
He's ingratiated himself even more to the Celtic supporters with that. But I think when a manager like Brendan Rodgers describes you as first class, then you're clearly doing a lot of the right things and doing them very well. So, you know, I think it's a matter of time before Greg Taylor signs a new deal, I have to say. And you can't speak highly enough of Alistair Johnston, who, since he made his debut at Ibrox in January 2023, you've just loved ever since. And he's arguably playing his best career form ever. So, and he's going to reap the rewards of that. So, fair play to him. That's what hard work and determination gets you as well. Michael Kelly saying 3-1 Celtic. George, 3-0 half time, 6-0 full time. Attack. Don't give Hearts nothing today. I think Celtic supporters would love to see that, George. We'll see what happens. And Fasty T coming in and saying something very nice. Channel was growing fast, especially with these team lineup podcast close to kickoff. Always a winner with these ones. Cheers. He's going for now. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Fasty T. Yeah. Well, 729 people, Ryan. Make that 733 going up all the time. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. We don't just pay lip service. We really are humbled whenever you come on and you join us, and we hope you enjoy what we do. We are endeavouring to grow the channel and keep growing it, and you guys help us no end. So thank you to everybody who subscribes, and to those who have subscribed to the members chat function, the members channel. We appreciate that. We appreciate everybody who pays over their hard earned and subscribes to the Celtic Way channel. It's something we don't take for granted. We never will take for granted, and we're just honoured and privileged to do what we do for a living. Comment on football, speak about football, and this wonderful football club that we all love, Glasgow Celtic. Ryan, you'll be there today. Anything else that you feel you want to bring up?
Let me think. I'm looking forward to seeing Nicholas Kuhn as well today. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing all the players, to be honest with you. Delighted for Scales, even though I did predict that Trusty would be in the starting lineup. Brendan Rodgers has shown loyalty to his centre-back there, arguably his best centre-back this season in terms of the form book, I would say. So he's shown, but I think there's going to be rotation over the next 3 games. I don't see how Austin Trusty doesn't make his debut at some point in the next 3 games. I think if not against Bratislava, then I think he's probably the first name on the team sheet against Falkirk. That would be a good move for him to play. But I like the continuity in the team. Hatate, Brendan Rodgers was talking yesterday about how the fact he came into training positive despite being very publicly snubbed, despite being in the international setup for Japan, not playing any games and making that effort. I know that the I know that the Japanese manager has no, he doesn't have like an order to play Hatate, but it's quite unfair on the player if he's making that journey and not getting any game time, and he's not like a second or a third choice goalkeeper. He's a very good midfielder who's playing some really good stuff at Celtic at the moment. But Brendan Rodgers did say that they've got a strong midfield, Japan. They certainly do. They've got players that are playing in European top leagues. So it's probably one of the strongest Japan sides in living memory. So he's got that challenge. That gauntlet's been handed down to him as well. So I expect a bit of a response today from Hatate. And Hatate's got previous against Hearts as well, so you wouldn't put it past him to score again against the Capital Club.
Indeed. Now, before I get your own prediction, I'll read some more out. First, Scott Dougal, 6-0 for him. He's saying, feels strange having a 3 o'clock kickoff. Kenny Todd, Tora, 3-0 half time. Rio Maida and Kyogo. He's saying, there you go. 420 somewhere saying, we're all here for the same cause. Indeed, we are. Kenny McLeod saying 4-0 to the champions. Hatate first goal. And Paul McLean saying 3-0 again today. And I think that was, and Mappy saying the bench is unbelievably good. Indeed. Now, before you go, Ryan, I'll just ask you your own prediction.
What do you think, Tony? Do I go bold or do I go conservative with a small C?
Yeah. Well, I said mine. I put mine. I'm going 5-0. I put mine in the predicted lineups, and I said Celtic to win by 4 clear. So I'll go 4-0 then. All righty.
4-0. Okay. I'll be happy with either, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah, just as long as there's a 0 next to that and Casper Schmeichel gets closer, or the record, if that is the case, I need to double check that. But let's keep this run going. Keep this 0 goals in the league, 0 goals conceded in the league going. I'm quite confident that Celtic can convincingly win today. You've got to really prey on Hearts' insecurities today in the start of the season. I think they'll come out. I think they'll want to prove a point and say that we are a better team than this. We know that they're a better team than the 1 point that they've shown so far. They showed enough in the game against Rangers for me to think they could have a decent season again. But it seems as if Aberdeen could be that side to maybe finish third, maybe even second. Who knows? But they're a better team than what they've shown. I expect them to turn up today, but I still expect Celtic to be far too much for them. It's a very, very different prospect coming to Celtic Park than it was a year ago.
Yeah. Helen Feeks 2-0, she's saying. Sons of Scotland 3-0. Edward Wyavos 6-0. Michael Cairns 5-0. Rebel Double X 3-0. And Kaiser's coming in saying, think the squad will be rotated like mad and Celtic will win 6-0. And Summit today saying the player of the month, that's Callum McGregor. We'll say congratulations to him for winning his first ever career player of the month.
Wild.
Astonishing statistic.
Wild
statistic. Wild, isn't it? Ryan saying 5-0, I'm saying 4-0. I always say, whatever you're doing, enjoy the game. It's always result dependent, isn't it? Thank you for joining us. We'll be back when the work is done at some point tonight to discuss Celtic Hearts. 3 points, please, Celtic. A clean sheet would be great for Casper Schmeichel as well. Happy debut to Arne Engels. I hope he ingratiates himself to the Celtic family right away by scoring a screamer, Ryan. I'd like to see that. It doesn't really matter who scores, to be fair, but I'd like to see Arne Engels get on the score sheet. That'd be great. But away you go and enjoy it, sir, and we will reconvene, as they say.
All good. Enjoy the game, guys. Fingers crossed it's another 3 points and a clean sheet for Celtic, and we'll see you as soon as we can after the game.